Hey folks, welcome to Fresh Produce. I'm Pete from BTI. Today I wanted to dive in really deep on a new hub in our lineup. These are the Project 321 G3 hubs. So once we're talking about the Project 321 hub specifically, they're adding in several new pieces of it. So let's dive into some of the details that sets this hub and the whole drive system apart. What's so unique about them, in my mind, number one, is the pawls themselves are driven by magnets instead of springs. Traditional hubs, almost everything out there on the market has a spring behind the pawl pushing on the back of it, that it makes it click over each step on the drive ring and holds in place once you're putting the power down and not coasting. These Project 321 hubs use a little magnet. If we take a close look, you can see the magnet right in the middle of the pawl on this free hub. And you can also see that the pawls are just sitting flat against the free hub here. They just move around with my finger when they're not in the hub themselves. Again, on a normal hub with a spring behind the pawl, it would be pushing out every pawl all the way around and they would all be sticking out sort of like this one. But these just basically sit flat because there's no spring or magnetic force when they're not in the hub itself. Once we insert the driver into the hub, and it's starting to be close to the steel drive ring, I've got this cool cutaway here where they left the drive ring itself made out of steel on the outside. So you can see that those pawls being pulled right into the drive ring and connecting. Now, another piece of this hub, aside from just the actual magnet-driven pawl, these hubs are extremely fast engaging. They're 1.2 degree of engagement, so they, in my hands, feel essentially instant. But that magnet system plays in because it's reducing the friction for all those pawls and teeth that the pawls are clicking across. So they do run 8 pawls in this hub, but they're running in kind of teams of 2 around a 72 tooth drive ring. And what that works out to is 288 points of engagement. It's an extremely fast engaging hub. A lot of times, all those teeth running over all the pawls creates a ton of friction. But with the magnets pull more. There's more magnetic force the closer the two magnetic materials are. So when when each pawl is engaged with the drive ring, it's getting the most force holding it together, really keeping a very solid connection and, eliminating any slips. But as each pawl moves away from the drive ring, it's actually experiencing less magnetic force, so less friction across each tooth. So from my experience, these hubs run super smooth and the coasting is noticeably faster than some others. So that's really the kind of deep dive on the drive system, but let's take a look at some of the other parts that make the hubs unique. First of all, they did do, I think, a really great job positioning bearings in the hub. They've got 2 double row bearings right under the drive system, right at the kind of transition between the hub shell and the driver. This is where really all the twisting force happens, so adding a ton of stiffness and rigidity there, and then some other bearings throughout. Speaking of bearings, these are actually an adjustable axle. So there's a little pinch bolt here, and you can tighten the load on those bearings to really get the perfect amount of play and as little friction as possible out of your hubs. Okay, another piece, and I think kind of part that's caught most of the attention of the media so far, is their really unique brake system. These hubs out of the box work on both center lock and 6-bolt hubs with no need for an adapter. Really, the hub itself kind of has the adapter built in. So you can see in this guys, it's set up for 6-bolt, and it looks sort of traditional aside from these silver pieces sticking out. When I take off this aluminum flange, you can see that there is a stainless steel ring that just sits on a ridge of the hub shell. This is part of the original, this ridge that the stainless steel ring sits in is part of the original center lock patent. So this is still falling within normal center lock design. This can be pulled off. I want to highlight this piece. It's stainless steel, whereas the rest of hub shell and all hubs are generally aluminum. So This is quite a bit stronger. You're not going to cross thread this, and you're definitely not going to, rip screw threads out. It just makes the actual connection at a really important point of safety even that little bit stronger. What it does mean is that also once these are in the collar, they actually stick out, so the brake is actually sitting on this stainless steel ring. The bolts are actually not the only thing going through your brake rotor anymore. So another little additional point of safety. It does mean you need to run slightly smaller bolts. They come with the hub, of course. But yeah, kind of a nice little piece there. If anything did happen to this, of course, it's replaceable. So that's another nice backup. Not to mention you could just switch brake rotor styles if you ever needed to. If you're out on the road and need a new rotor, you can get whatever the shop might have with this guy. And then just the standard center lock setup on this one. So pretty cool, just kind of the modularity and not just allowing you to run either, but adding in pieces of safety and sort of redundancy to the whole system. It does all go back together really quick and easy with that ring splitting over the top, and then that collar sort of sitting right back on the normal ridges of center lock. And now we're back to 6-bolt. Also, once this is all tightened up, there's going to be silence, no movement, since it's sort of tensioned against itself. I'm excited about them. I think that they're a great premium offering in our catalog, and I think they would be at your shop too. So if you'd like to try these hubs on your own bike, make sure you check out your local bike shop and tell them BTI sent you.